today, from London, England, it's the NFL International Series on EA Sports. It's the London Black Knights taking on the Minnesota Vikings.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the London Black Knights. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And at quarterback from the University of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
One touchdown, one pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
On first down, it's Herbert. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Certainly worth noting he's now one catch away from 600. He's at 599 in his career. On second down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
From the 50, here's Herbert. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
The Vikings send out their punter. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. So out comes the offense now with a long field ahead of them. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
I like this guy. And the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Here's the first carry from Matt Breida. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Another good carry there for the NFL's second leading rusher, and we've talked on air, off air about his MVP candidacy. Make a case for him.
Well, I'm just going to tell you point blank, it doesn't matter whether he's first or second or even third in the league in rushing yardage. That's not the main deal. It's how he gets those yards and the impact he has on his ball club.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Escaping the pressure right, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. On 4th down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 20. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Out of the gun, Herbert. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38.
Oh, it don't matter.
He will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Austin Seibert on for the extra point. And it's good to make it 7-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
Good bait right there.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Taking it about the 1. And the tackle going to be made right. Good shot. Justin Herbert leading this unit out for their next possession. And looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick 6 for the first points of the ball game.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick 6, the first thing they want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately. But what really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive, mixing the run and the pass, tamp things down a little bit.
Justin Herbert looking to throw on 2nd down. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Edwards-Helaire, they'll try to run for it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That'll be a gain of 15 yards, and it's going to yield a new set of downs. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, here's Herbert looking for Ayuk, and he's got him. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Now Edwards-Helaire. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Herbert operating from the red zone. He'll find his running back, Edwards-Helaire. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be a 2nd down. A shotgun snap for Herbert. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Herbert, and that's knocked away and incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
So a dozen plays on that drive, CD, but in the end, it yields just the 3 points.
Well, they were able to keep the defense on the field for a long time, but let's be honest about it. That was about as unsatisfying a drive as you're going to get. 12 plays and you only get 3 points out of it. Not quite the ending they were looking for.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Eluding the pressure right. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Here's Breida. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple...
Looking for Pettis, but that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now, they may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the two tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Another first down there as this one goes for 25. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Showed off the toughness, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. 7 yards the pickup there. 2nd and 3, and they trail 7-3, but getting close to changing that. And this defense hoping to limit them to a field goal to preserve the lead. And the Vikings are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings have taken the lead. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic, and it sounds almost trite. But the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on him, but he also knows he's got to erase it from his mind and get back out there. This drive, very important.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. From the 28, it's 2nd and 5.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit. Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free.
And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. He lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Excellent pursuit. Force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's go, D.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got it. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Flushed out right. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. That is caught at the 7. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
56. Check 56. Let's go one more.
Back to throw again. Flush to his right. And it's caught. Touchdown. Dante Pettis in the final seconds of the first half. And his guys are going to retake the lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down. just about, and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. So that drive goes 8 plays. So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Single slot.
The final shot before the break for Herbert. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. Some critical games going on as teams fight for those final playoff berths. Let's get you around the NFL.
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. London about set to take over on offense. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down into those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They run with Breida. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Here's a 2nd and 7. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
This Minnesota D up to the task on the 3rd down pass play.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Seibert able to knock this one through. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. A pass there over the middle to start things out. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. On third down, here's Edwards-Helaire. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the box there.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
From the gun, Herbert on 3rd down. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Here's Herbert now on 2nd down. Incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. London about set to take over on offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Back. Hey, alert 3. 70 Lion.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
56.
A well-executed 22-yard gain. Running out of the gun here, Breida. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Behind the chain, 2nd and 13.
Kill. All right, 70. Kill. Turn up.
They'll set up to throw. Throw right side taken in by Pettis. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Dante Pettis with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. – The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for them.
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Chase Young, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 13. Here's Herbert. They'll set up the screen to Edwards-Helaire. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. That one good for only 6, and it leaves them with a 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They snap it to Herbert. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. Well, down 2 scores in the 4th quarter. It maybe wasn't quite desperation time, but it was getting close. And that interception there on the deep ball, that probably slams the door on their chances.
And maybe that was the thought process, that it wasn't quite desperation time. So now you take the shot before they're going to lay back any farther on defense. Go ahead and throw it downfield. Unfortunately, it didn't work.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Seibert's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure, this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the complexion of this one has really changed a fair amount. That last field goal makes it a 3-score game, so they need points in a hurry with time dwindling in the 4th quarter. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. From the gun, Herbert. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well. Incomplete.
Push it back. Push it back.
Now the throw here complete on the right sideline. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I'm going back to you.
Again, Herbert. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team,
They've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On Herbert, his third interception. Picked off at the 46. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Breida, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Matt Breida with touchdown number 20 on the year, and his guys are going to add on to their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead is now 24. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Give them 14 on that one and a 1st down. Out of the gun, Herbert. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Herbert back to the air. Open man is IU, complete. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. One last throw here for Herbert. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last point of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the home team here, the win will be number 11 for them on the year. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.